Hello and welcome to another episode of A Day in the District. I'm your host, Chelsea Whittington. A Day in the District is a show designed to help you, the viewer, stay connected to your Gary Community School Corporation. Today I sit in the seat still as host, but doing something that I did approximately 4 years ago, and it's around passing the torch of leadership. I am joined by my colleague, my friend, Dr. Paige McNulty, who has served as manager of the Gary Community School Corporation for these past few years and has finished up her tenure and is passing the torch to her colleague and now my colleague, Dr. Michael Raisor. And I thought it's so apropos to do a show of reflection of all of your accomplishments, and then for you, Dr. Raisor, what lies ahead as we seek and have our sights set on local control of our school district. Dr. McNulty,
Yay.
Hi. How are you feeling today? You're in the last month or so of this journey that has been amazing.
It has been amazing.
And we got to pull the layers back of the onions. When you first started here, COVID, go.
Yeah, so when I first started here, we had a lot to do. We had a great team, but just lots of work laying ahead of us. And then COVID hit, and so we had to pause and readjust to what we were doing, still making lots of forward momentum and progress, but just in a different way. I have been truly honored to be able to serve with the team that we have here and to be able to make the progress that we had on behalf of kids. So it's been a wonderful, wonderful journey, lots of great memories, and look forward to watching the continued success as they move forward.
Yeah. Now, for those who may not know the full history, you didn't come at first as manager. Talk a little bit about how your first encounter with the district.
Yeah, so I was asked to come to Gary by the State Department to work under the federal programs department to help with the funding that the Gary Community Schools had. So I came here. I was here for a couple of months and then was asked to transition into the emergency manager role.
Yeah, and I thought that was very critical for us to mention for the simple fact that what I've noticed in the pattern with MGT and the Gary schools and how we work is that we lay a plan of transition so that nobody just jumps in the fire. It's like, okay, I'm starting to meet some people, I'm seeing how this works, and then you get to transition into the role. So what are some of the things that you're most proud of? I know you have an amazing team, but there are some things that, I know we would go home and be like, yes.
Oh gosh, the list is long, but I would definitely say a huge thank you and a huge accomplishment to the community for having faith in us and passing the referendum. That was a game changer, absolute game changer for this school district and this community, so that we could be on an even playing field, if you will, with other school districts, because as you see, most of the school districts around us are passing referendums. That's just the way of the world now,
Right.
Unfortunately. And so for us to continue to be competitive, we're going to have to pass the referendum and probably pass future referendums as they move forward, just because of the funding that's happening out there with school districts. So that was a big accomplishment,
Big win.
that helped us be able to do the things that we're doing for kids. Certainly all the athletic enhancements that have happened to enable kids K through 12 to be able to have opportunities for sporting. All the new curriculum that's been adopted for the district, math, reading, science, special education, fine arts, the band uniforms, all those things are just, I could go on and on. Lots of things that that you see, that you actually are visible, that use tangible things that are happening. The extended day for students, for more opportunities for learning. All of those things are going to pay huge dividends as we move forward. We have built a solid foundation.
Yeah, I'll tell you from my purview, as PR folks, it makes it easy for us to be able to tell a bunch of good news and a lot of great stories and to dispel a lot of myths. And as the two of you were on a radio program earlier today, they likened you as the setup person. Dr. Raisor, she has set the stage for this final year, transitioning back to local ownership, provided that all of the guidelines are met, and there are a lot of different things that have to be met, but that's where we're headed. And with you coming into this role, what have you seen so far and your thoughts around how we are set up for success?
Well, first, I just want to praise Paige and just the tremendous job that she has done, the team that she has surrounded herself with. I've already been to all 10 schools, have been very impressed, and this is the last week of school I'm visiting schools, and there were great things happening there, and I think that she has set the district up with great potential to again return to local control and to continue the forward momentum. And really, the best days of Gary are ahead.
Yeah. So I will tell you, I'm sure that Dr. Paige has told you that Gary's a town. We're a funny town here as far as change. And we have to be informed. We have to be convinced. We have to be introduced. And so it wasn't just that Paige just came and was like, ta-da, I'm here. And everybody's like, yay. It was like a prove yourself. So now you are on that vein to get out there, to let people know exactly who you are and what your plans with the team for the district are. Who is Dr. Mike Raisor?
Well, first of all, I'm all about relationships. That is the most important thing, especially when it comes to education. It is not doing things to a community, it's doing things with a community. And I'm a lifelong educator. I started as a social studies teacher at a really small little school where I taught 7 through 12. And moved on to Evansville, Indiana, where I was there a teacher, then an assistant principal, became a district official there, and then for 8 years was chief operations officer in Louisville, Kentucky, which is one of the largest districts in the country.
Wow.
Now, for the past 3.5 years, I've been working with MGT all over the country, helping districts improve, especially organizationally and operationally.
Okay.
So, and then who's Mike? I'm an Army brat. My father was in the lifelong military. My mom was a teacher.
It's in your blood.
Yep. Grew up in southern Indiana, but was born in Germany and then lived in Korea and Germany as a kid. My wife's a high school guidance counselor.
Wow.
Yeah, she's a school counselor. And my son's 21 years old, goes to Jefferson College in Missouri.
Okay. So that's, for starters, trust. There will be many other opportunities as we continue to have community forums and things of that nature. Dr. Paige, before we go to break, what do you want parents to know about just keeping the momentum going and getting them to stay involved with their children?
I have been so impressed of how our parents are engaging with us. We want our parents to continue to come into the schools, continue to be involved in your students' academic life. So please continue to do that. Our schools are open, and we want you to be involved via Skyward, field trips, open houses. All those venues are open, and please engage with us.
Yes, we are wide open, and in fact, we have a couple of registration fairs coming up June 1st and 2nd, which I will talk about momentarily. We'll also talk about graduation and more on that list from Dr. McNulty. You are watching A Day in the District. A Day in the District is a program designed to help you, the viewer, stay connected to your Gary Community School Corporation. We want you to also stay connected with us on our website at garyschools.org. Stay right there. We'll be right back.
When you join the Army, the first thing they teach you is how to get in line. Not exactly the same in high school. When I enrolled in Westside Leadership Academy and joined ROTC, the first thing I learned was respect. Not just for God and country, but for myself.
Gary Schools, strong, resilient, built for education.
Oh, beautiful for heroes proved in liberating strife, who more than self their country loved, and mercy more than life.
Welcome back to A Day in the District. I'm your host, Chelsea Whittington. And this is our Changing of the Guards show. Bittersweet for me, I will say, as Dr. McNulty, it's no secret I've said in public and private that I consider you a friend.
Likewise.
It's been some fun times. There have been tears.
Yes.
There's been laughter, but I just really want to hone in on the many milestones because we have truly worked hard as a team to change the narrative when people think about Gary schools and enrolling their children. And now it's not even one of those things like, I would never do that. Now it's like, where do I go? So I want to talk some more about the milestones. Let's go over to the Career Center.
So when you talk about tears, I say that because we're passionate about what we do here.
That's right.
And so I think that's why there's, we've put a lot of grit into this, our whole team, our teachers, our students. this is a hard-working,
Yeah.
nothing's going to get us down. And that's
That's
why
right.
we have made huge progress over the
Yeah.
last many years to get where we are.
Yeah, and I will tell you, and this is going to happen with you, Dr. Raisor, too. They're like, is she the real deal? When you first got here and me being from here and just having been in the school district prior to, and I would have to say, yeah, man, she's the real deal, really passionate, no extra agenda. I mean, but when you think about it, what does that benefit us with the extra agendas and things like this? We are here on behalf of children, and I feel like there are platforms like this in place
Right.
so that we can tell our audiences,
Right.
those thinking about bringing their children to the district, what we're doing, why it's important
Right.
that they stay informed and that they stay involved.
Right. We made a very conscious effort to make sure we have all sorts of media outlets. You've done a phenomenal job with our website, with our radio, with our newsletters, all sorts of outlets so that parents and the community can get the information, get accurate information, and then ask us questions if we've missed something. We want to make sure that we're transparent, we're not
Yeah.
perfect, and just to know the path that we're on, that we continue to move forward, and
Yeah.
a place that they would be proud to send their kids. And
Yeah.
I think that it's a great place.
Yes, indeed. I will say before I go back to Dr. Raisor that we were at the Gary Area Career Center
Yes,
this afternoon
yes.
earlier.
Very
and
proud of
that's
that, yeah.
Another program that we've seen just flourish.
Right. So there was about 58 kids at the Career Center 3 years ago. We have about 250 kids and counting. So if you're thinking about sending your student there in the fall, you need to sign up quickly because those slots are filling up. We had maybe 5 CTE strands, again, 3 years ago. We are up to almost 20 now, and again, continuing to grow. And that is all due to the partnerships with the businesses in town, the fire department, the police department, the graphics, automotive, etc.,
Yes.
cybersecurity, but all are wonderful pathways for students to get certifications paid for by the districts.
Yes.
In conjunction with their high school diploma. So I think it's a
Yes.
wonderful opportunity for not only the kids, but our community, because we're growing our own and they can become gainfully employed in positions that we need here. So
Exactly. Dr. Raisor, you were talking about the district that had 100,000 students and 150 odd schools. What's the difference now that you see with the opportunity in Gary? I mean, I'm thinking smaller is more hands-on.
Well, I like that the hands-on ability. I like being in schools.
Okay.
And I like seeing what's going on in schools. I like the people in central office to be in schools.
Okay.
With 155 schools, that could be once a year.
Yeah.
You could be in our schools once a week.
Yeah.
Which really helps create uniformity.
Yes.
And helps people want to know that the people in central office just don't sit around all day and scheme. They want to know that people see what they're doing.
Yes.
And I love that ability. And I think a school district can be too big too. And and Gary is just right
Yeah.
in size. It's really great things. The Career Center, just fantastic opportunities for children in programs that we don't have enough people in those jobs today.
Yes.
So some real great career opportunities also. So there's nothing wrong with the size of Gary. Now we want enrollment to grow.
Absolutely.
So we can provide more opportunities to more children. But this is a perfectly sized school district to make a real difference in.
Yes, and we are looking forward to the differences that you plan to make alongside the team. Dr. McNulty, I also wanted to talk about, Mike made me think about growing your own, and then the training and professional development opportunities that we have been offering teachers, the IUM program,
Right,
and the
yeah.
certifications. How did that
yeah,
wrap
so
up
we
this
started
year?
that 3 years ago with
Yes.
part of our ESSER dollars. We decided to use some of those funds to help grow our own teaching staff because, as everyone knows, there's a teaching shortage, especially in Indiana. And so we've had about at least 45, maybe 50 teachers who took us up on that opportunity. We paid for them to get their teaching license while they worked with us. We had our first group that graduated this year, this May, with their certification. We also partnered this year with Purdue, Calumet, and we have another cohort that's going through and have started that with the paraprofessionals as well. So we've got 3 cohorts going on right now utilizing those ESSER funds. It's been a wonderful opportunity, and they're getting training on real life, what they're going to be doing. And so you're not
Yes.
getting training and then going to a work environment where it might look a little different.
Yes.
The training's actually happening
Training.
on the job,
On the job.
which has been a great thing. So,
Yes.
and we're going to continue that training with our teachers. And Mike and I have been also already transitioning and training. He's going to do a great job because I've got full faith. I've worked with him, through MGT the last 3 years, and we've had a nice transition time here together. So.
And that's exactly what I wanted to get across from the program today, that this is not a fly-by-night, all of a sudden, oh, hey, you, come on over.
Right.
It's more of a, let's have these conversations. So I have to ask you, Dr. Raisor, what can we as a community do to help you be successful with our team?
Well, I think, there it is right there. This is a community affair. We're always better together.
Yeah.
And I think aligning around, the question I always ask myself, the question that people will get tired of me asking is this best for kids? How does this help kids? Because it's all about the success of students. And, everybody being involved in that. Sometimes people are going to think, well, maybe it looks a little differently or have differences of opinions. But at the end of the day, that we remember the number one priority we have is the success of students.
Yes.
And that takes a lot in 2023.
Yes, it does. Well, I know for sure some of the things we'll definitely be doing is keeping our schedules seamless like we had with Dr. McNulty as far as those radio programs, as far as those community forums, and that open door policy that Dr. McNulty always had as far as people reaching out and wanting to have meetings and wanting to just have their feelings expressed in ways that action can be taken behind them. So we're going to be able to work as a team to ensure that transition continues. So as we get ready to go into break, we want you to know that your Gary Community School Corporation is enrolling children. That's a year-round affair, but mark your calendars for June 1st and June 2nd at the Gary Area Career Center, where our registration events will take place. Stay right there. When we come back, we are going to find out where is Dr. Paige McNulty going next and what's next for her in this life. We'll be right back.
I said I'd never join.
Thought living on sub would be too hard.
I figured only the weatherman tracks storms.
I said my job wouldn't matter. Never knew how strong I was. I never thought this would be my commute.
I figured I'd never get out of my hometown. Or be the one who stops an attack.
Joining the Navy sounds crazy. Saying never actually is.
Hello, my name is Dr. Paige McNulty. I'm the manager for the Gary Community School Corporation, and I am pleased to be joined today with the Jackson 5 family members, Tito and Marlon Jackson. Hi, how are you? Thanks for being here today.
Not only are we members of the world-famous Jackson 5, but we are proud products of the Gary schools.
Growing up in Gary, our school system afforded great opportunities from academics to extracurricular activities.
And today is no different. This is why we encourage you to enroll your child in the Gary schools today.
For more information, please call 219-881-5466 or visit garyschools.org. And please remember, enroll in Gary Schools today.
Yes,
right.
Definitely enroll.
Gary Schools.
Strong, resilient.
Built for education.
Welcome back to A Day in the District. I'm still your host, Chelsea Whittington. A Day in the District is a program designed to help you, the viewer, stay connected to your Gary Community School Corporation. We are so committed to helping people to know what's going on, especially our parents, our guardians, the village, if you will, to ensure that the children get all of the opportunities. And while we were on break, I mentioned our dual credit opportunities. We now have in place where our young people can get college credits while still in high school. I had some of our reps on, but that's another one of those things on the list, Doc.
That's right. So we had About 38 students this school year that graduated with or graduating with dual credit opportunities and credits, and had their first graduation, if you will. And we were featured in the State Department's newsletter this week as well as one of the schools that's made great advancements. So lots of opportunities. That program will continue to grow next year. We're hoping to have double the enrollment in that, but it's a big win for our students in our school.
Yes, I know you sent out correspondence. You know how we open our emails and we say, no, say it ain't so, or what does this mean? And I'm going to go to you, Dr. Raisor, because we get those kinds of, questions to say, well, really, is this going to be smooth, and how comfortable can we feel? And I just want you to help our viewers to know that that transition is comfortable and that you have been in environments similar with school districts of challenge that have been successful.
Yes, absolutely. Well, first of all, Paige says she's going to answer my phone calls.
Okay, that's what she said.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll have Paige on speed dial. Because we've spent the past few weeks together and aren't done, but I'm sure there'll be something, and we'll talk. And like I said, I treasure and want to praise the work that Paige has done. So definitely want to make sure that we continue that. The other thing will be the theme of my year, and it is just a year, is making sure that the Gary Community School Corporation is in the best shape possible, remains in the best shape possible to transition to local control. So it is sort of, not backing away. We're still functioning leadership, but making sure that we have everything rolling for that, again, so it only gains momentum as local control transitions in.
So as you mentioned, I've been here almost 4 years. It felt to me like this was a natural transition time for me because there will be a new advisory board that's put into place July 1st.
Yes, talk to me about how all of that works with the government and what passed.
So there'll be 3 appointments from the Secretary of Education in Indianapolis. There'll be 1 appointment that's made by the City Council and 1 appointment that will be made by the mayor for a total of 5. They'll take their seats July 1, so in another month or so from now. They'll be advisory for a year while they get training. And then at that point, the only thing that they'll be charged with doing technically is picking a new superintendent at some point next school year. That new superintendent will take their seat July 1, and then July 1 of next year, they'll have official powers, voting powers. So it felt to me like a good natural transition time since we're at the point of a new board coming on, and we've done, or I felt like I've done what I needed to do and get us where we are. We have systems in place that will stick, and we're a well-oiled machine at this point. So
that's what I love about it. It's like, these people already know how to do that as opposed to that one person that's the crypt keeper that's holding all of the information. We do not operate like that.
We do not.
And fortunate enough for you, Dr. Raisor. So without spilling all the beans, but can you just kind of tell us where you're headed, what's next for you?
Yeah, so I'm going to move into higher education here locally within the region. I'll still be working with school districts. We're going to be working with districts on more like equity and access for districts who have a need to get their students into schooling as far as programming, transportation, funding, that type of stuff.
Nice.
So I'll still be working
I know
with
some folks that can help you get the word out about that.
I know. Right.
Benefits children.
So just in a different capacity than what I'm doing now, but still working with kids and getting them the best education they can.
Nice. Dr. Raisor, talk to me about a couple of things that you're proud of on your journey with other school districts. What kind of home runs did you hit?
So, when I look back, one of the things I'm most proud of is I went into a school that the state said was failing and helped turn that school around. And, got the highest test scores the school ever got. But it wasn't really about the test scores, it was the pride those students and faculty felt. At, always being told something was wrong with them, always being told, that you don't measure up, and helping to change that culture where there was a real sense of pride, where it was just another school. And, the other thing, these last 3 years have been really rewarding, going around the country, helping schools and districts do really difficult things. It's been tough out there, and helping districts navigate that. It's really given me a lot of perspective also, where I'd worked in multiple school districts, but now having worked in really tiny ones, really big ones, all over the country, gives you a lot of good ideas too of, hey, I've seen this done another way, or, we were right on that because that's what everybody's doing.
Yes,
So.
yes. And I would even just pile on from that to say that COVID changed our whole outlook on education, on virtual learning and technology. Doc, before we get out of here, can you talk a little bit about the investments we made and changes we made once we had to come back? You know,
Right.
We were kind of set to go, though, when COVID hit.
We had fortunately put our order in and got our 4,500 Chromebooks in quickly, and so we were able to switch on a dime. But even after that, our staff and students and parents have done a phenomenal job of continuing to understand that technology is just part of now instructional learning.
Yes.
It's part of the learning process. So all of our books are digital and hard copy, and the students are using technology as part of their everyday learning, as far as STEM and all the fine everything has to do with technology. So
I buried the lead. STEM, you got
three
STEM certified schools
three
under your
STEM certified schools. 3 more they're going to come next year, I guarantee it.
Dr. Raisor, you got 3 more coming?
Three more.
Three more.
So.
So as we finally get ready to close out the show, it always goes fast when you're having fun. I want to give the last remarks to you, Dr. Paige. Tell your community as we
I just want to
transition.
thank everyone from the bottom of my heart. Truly, this has been an honor, and I'm not going to cry.
Okay.
An honor to serve this district and these students and the staff, the parents, and all the people, the community members that came forth and offered their help and support. We have had an outcrying of people that say, we want to see our school district succeed, and we couldn't have done it without everybody coming together. So I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. Please continue to do so. Please continue to help Mike and the rest of the team, because all it's doing is benefiting the students. So
Yes.
thank you, thank you, thank you. It's been an absolute privilege to be here.
Well, I will echo your sentiments. I want to wish you and your family
Thank
well.
you.
I know this is just so long. We'll see you in other
Absolutely,
circles.
yeah.
And I'll ask the camera team to zoom in on this face over there. Remember this face? Dr. Michael Raisor, who will now take the reins in June for our manager of the Gary Community School Corporation. I have been your host, Chelsea Whittington. Thank you so much for watching A Day in the District. Don't forget, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn to get all of your updates, and GarySchools.org. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.
WSTG